What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists, and welcome to On the Bench with Pete. This is a series you put on in the background as you hobby. It's like a paint-along video, but it's not live. I'll talk more about that later. I'm just trying to arrange my table at the moment. Now, unlike usual, I'm not doing a, facing the camera intro. I don't see the point. Well, I'm trying out this getting straight on with it, and that way we can get straight on with our modeling and our painting, and life is good, and everything else. So I'm super excited to so I've got this Deathwatch guy. This is Edric Setorax, the silent killer with lightning claws, and I can see from the side of the box that his symbol's got white. Well, it's a white symbol, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll tell you why I'm super excited, folks, because I've decided Deathwatch are going to be my kill team, definitely. And also, look at this, I got 3 crisis suits I've just airbrushed with their base colour of XV88. So I've got 3 of those. I've got some terrain I've done. I've got my Dreadnought, of course. I'm also thinking of a Dark Angel kill team, although I don't suppose for a minute Dreadnoughts would be allowed on a kill team. But I was thinking having a kill team of Dark Angels with Cypher leading them. That would be kind of cool. He's kind of a mysterious fellow, and leaves people wondering what sort of side are these Dark Angels on. Well, another thing I'm going to be doing is I want to put a transfer on this Dreadnought. I just want to put a Dark Angels transfer on it, so I'm going to do that as well. So just let me cut that out a moment, and then I can put some gloss varnish on there, on the shoulder thing, to make a nice shiny surface. Yeah, got my bin handy. So, with that in mind, find a really crappy brush, and I'm going to put some hard. I've got some hard coat left. I might as well use this up. Just give it a bit of a shake. I've got my coffee. Oh, I forgot to mention at the start, because this is a new format and I'm testing it out. This is the series you put on in the background, of course. So get your paints and models, model along, paint along with me as I talk and ramble, and get yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea while you're at it, and that'll do nicely. Some refreshments, that's the way forward. Alright, so put some hard coat onto his shoulder. It's not a pad exactly, but that's what I'll call it. Right, so I'm just putting that on there, and when that's dry, then I can move forward with putting this transfer on. So yeah, I'm super excited because I'm getting to doing a Deathwatch kill team means I've got to paint my Deathwatch, my kill team Cassius, basically. I bought that box set ages ago. So with kill team coming out, well, it's out, isn't it? But with that, it's given me the reason I need to finish these guys up. some shade wash onto the golden bits here. Oh, what the heck, I'll use this brush. Yeah. Bit of Reichland flesh shade over the golds. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got some things to talk about. Sainsbury's interview, which I'm hoping I could get a phone call today from them. I'm hoping they'll let me know either way. That way I can know for sure, not get my hopes up too much more. And yeah, I can start planning for my next adventure, whatever, because you know, it sucks the life out of you, you know, hoping and praying for interviews to come through. It's very draining, I find. It drains me anyway. Right, so that's him done there. It's very exciting stuff. Don't know what I'm going to call it, this episode. I've got some touch-up work to do on his inner arm, because I basically repositioned his arm and it fell off, or broke, snapped, whatever. Came away. Thought, don't really want his arm going across his body, like in the pose they got there. So I've dug out my next Deathwatch guy, whom I'm going to enjoy. Can't even see who it is at this stage. It's like a bit of a lottery. So who have I got? I will be doing Ortan Cassius next. So the kind of leader. All right. Oh wow. Oh, that is super cool. So I'm going to start off. I'll get the base done. So I've done just a bit of quark on this one. I could have put some Reichland flesh shade around the edges here, to be truthful. Might still do that actually. I might do Agrax Earthshade. I might do the whole thing with Agrax Earthshade just to dull it down a bit. We'll do that. And then Cassius will be away. That's pretty awesome. They're pretty easy to paint up, these Deathwatch characters. Once you get used to painting black, it's not so bad, you know. Beautiful cup of coffee. Ground down with real coffee beans. Gotta love it. That really is a bad brush I just used. I just wiped the tip off and half the bristles came away. Ha! Okay, so Agrax Earthshade. Here we come. Gotta dull this whole thing down. So I'm gonna use this bigger brush. So just pop this on here. Dirties it up a bit too, you know. That's nice. There we go. So, alright, just bear with me a moment. I will get around to talking about this interview. Wouldn't it be cool if they phoned live? Well, I know I'm not streaming live, but on this recording, you know. There. So that's done. You could hear then what goes on. That would be excellent. So Cassius, I'll get to do the leader. So he would be the leader of my Death Watch. Yeah, that's cool. Don't mind that. In fact, I might. No, I'll do this. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I was thinking whether to do the bits in between this base first or the cork bits and the rest of it. I think I'll do the rest of it because I can do the middle bits after. Yeah, we can do that. Right, first I need a touch of Abaddon Black to fill in the gap in his elbow. I'm going to order a new brush, I think. What have I got here? Detail. No, that's a bit too small. Regiment. I think I need a new regiment brush. Do you know I painted my first lot of models, which was Tyranids. First set I bought, boxed set, with a regiment brush. I thought I had to paint them that way with a regiment brush because they were a regiment or something like that. You know, that's how newbie I was. Shows what I know, what little I know. There. Right, so that's done. I'm super excited. Kill Team, it's going to be great. I feel certain my friends will enjoy Kill Team better than the full scale game, although I prefer the full scale game. Well, it's I mean, no, I like them about the same. They just got different places amongst the stars, as it were. Right, so I'll give this a little longer. I'm sorry about the fan, by the way. I was hoping to get an episode in without the fan blowing, but it's hot and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, you know. So my Sainsbury's interview, it went really well, but then I know my Games Workshop one went really well. But with the difference with Games Workshop and this one is that Games Workshop was for just one position, whereas the interview I went to on Monday was for, well, be like a small team, training a new team up for the store, so I wouldn't be the only one. So that increases my chances, so to speak, of getting the job. I'm just going to get my phone out. Sorry, my phone would be on loud as well. This is because they could phone either phone, really. Either the landline, which is right next to me, or my mobile, which again is right next to me. So, you know, fingers crossed, eh? I hope I hear soon. I really do. I suppose if I haven't heard by the end of the day on Monday, which will be a full week, I will assume I've not been successful, and that will be pretty sad. But you know, those are the breaks. I just don't seem to get. Well, I don't seem to get a break, you know. Right, let's get on with this. So, greys, then. I've got plenty of greys, which is good. I shall be needing Dawnstone, but I'm looking for this one, Mechanicus Standard Grey. Although I'm thinking thinking I could use iron hull grey, which is pretty much just identical. Yeah, iron hull grey. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. Iron hull grey for the base. Absolutely doodly. Yeah, it was a great interview. I don't know, that lasted about an hour. I mean, what I like about it, it's for Sainsbury's, right? And it's for one in my town centre. So it's not the biggest one, but it's quite big. You know, its own parking. It's quite a big store. Warehouse, so easy peasy stuff, you know. Well, I suppose a bit of everything really. Warehousing, you know, shelf stacking, tills, all that good stuff. But just a piece of cake, you know, it really would. I could do the job standing on my head. I really could. That's what he says in Full Monty, in it. Yeah, do the job standing on my head. But it's true, I could. Stores and warehousing, piece of cake. It's hard not to get my hopes up for it because he showed me around the store. He took my measurements for uniform because there'll be an induction week Saturday for the lucky people. It's good money as well. Part-time, which is excellent. I mean, full days, but you know, obviously not every day of the week, so that's pretty sweet. Starting with an average, I'll just leave that grey out so I know what ones I've used. With a pretty average salary, but then going up in September to a really good salary. So yeah, dude, I'm okay with that. I'm well okay with that. So yep. Alright, we'll just pop that to one side. Let's get my dreadnought here. Let's use another piece of blue towel. It's not my model over that I'm using for hobby 1-to-1s at the moment, so that's not too good. Right, can I locate tweezers? There we go. I shall be needing those. See, these airbrushed models dry, so my terrain will be dry because I primed that. But these, yeah, they're bone dry. I love airbrushing. So quick, and it dries so quick. It's just brilliant. Right, I'm just going to clean out my dry brush a minute on my bar of soap. As you know the story behind that. Got a pack of 4 of them for 59p last week at Aldi. And it cleans the brushes splendido. It's just brilliant. This dry brush is coming to the end of its life anyway, so not too fussed about that one. Right, okay. Now, so what I'm going to do, I need to pick up. I'm just wetting. I can see there that I'm just wetting the blue towel. That's what I'm doing off camera. Then when the transfer is ready to move. Right. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Now I'm going to do this off of camera, most likely, so bear with me, guys. Actually, I'll use my regiment brush, so I'll just wet it down. So I'm just moving the transfer around. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, I need to dab it dry, hopefully. There, so I've got this emblem on his kind of shoulder pad there. So that's good. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. And what I will do then is I will seal it over with some matte varnish. So I'm just going to pop that to one side and wait for it to dry a bit more. Some coffee. Yeah, so I just if I could get this Sainsbury's job, like I say, it's for a general assistant, but if I could get it, my life would be so much simpler. And certainly financially things would be a lot easier for us. It's been a shame because it's been a really tough month because my wife has only a small, tiny fraction of what she would have done, but that's another story. So it's been very tough on us. Now I'm wondering whether I should be blocking that in to make a more solid colour, or let's just leave the dark bits shining through. I think I might block it in, make another solid colour, but yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I've got all the white symbol to do on his arm. I love these Deathwatch characters, so really loving it. Right. He's got some feathers or something attached to his belt. Very Sameshi desert, which I happen to have right here. Ooh. Now, I think we need a detail brush for this. Just using the dampness of the brush in the water. Because what I will do is I will put a shade wash over the top of these feathers to bring out the details. It's quite a thin pigmented paint anyway, so, and there's not that much detail on it anyway, not these feathers. They're just feathers. So another thing I'm super excited about is Age of Sigmar. Come on to that later. But anyway, Oh, something else I got to tell you. I was due to have an interview today. Actually, today is Friday. Friday the 10th, I think. Roundabout then, anyway. I was due to have an interview in the House of Fraser, but of course the thing is, I'm thinking, well, they're going under. You know, they've called the administrators in, gone into administration, and this was like about 4 hours before I was due to leave the house. I contacted them and said, look, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing the news, because I knew they were in a bit of a bad way, but I didn't realise quite how bad. I don't want to go through all that and then have to be looking for a job again in a month's time or a week's time or whatever. So I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to decline due to the, my fears over the business. And they said, yeah, I completely understand, that's fair enough. So I guess they've been used to that response. Yes, it's fair. This is cool. I'm going to have a brilliant Deathwatch kill team, and I will get a Dark Angels kill team together as well. See, that's the beauty of kill teams. You can do several different factions. Oh yeah, but I definitely want to do Deathwatch. Definitely. Yeah, if I just paint this one box set, which is this one here, the Deathwatch kill team Cassius, because there's a Dark Angel in it actually. Then that'll be my first Deathwatch team, I think, and I can't wait. I'll just use bits and bobs for, the opposition for now, whatever. Right, just move him to one side. Let's bring my Dreadnought back in a moment. And matte acrylic varnish. Just a little tiny bit. So I'm just shaking it up here. I'll see if I can turn the fan off for a bit. There we go. See if we can get some decent sound for a while. Yeah, that's all it needs. Even that is too much, but never mind. So let's just seal this in. Oh, pretty sweet. What I'll do is whole arm for a moment. I'll seal that because, well, create a bit of a save point, I suppose. Because I'm thinking I want to do maybe some chipping effects later on him. He's very much a slow work in progress. When I first got him, I was like, oh my goodness, the paint job was so awful. Terrible paint job. Really was. Yeah, quite possibly the worst Dreadnought paint job I've ever seen. And he was in a bad way as well, model-wise. Which, I mean, when I stripped the paint in my Dettel bath, he just came to bits anyway, which was like, okay, whatever. But yeah. So come on, phone, ring. My landline, right next to me here. Ring. Sainsbury's ring. Oh, you got my mobile number. Oh, that would be so brilliant to do that live. Wouldn't that be good? For them to phone and say, yep, you got the job, you start your induction, blah, blah, blah. See you on Saturday. Yeah, that would be that'd be like the best, the best on the bench ever. I know my wife would be chuffed as well. Not that she's like, hurry up and get a job sort of thing, but she's proud of everything I do, and the support I get is unbelievable. I just want to do it. I mean, for me, really, to help me with how I feel about things and how I feel about myself. And so I told you this was a bit of therapy. Right, that links me nicely onto... I was asked recently why I don't stream these live. Maybe I should, because, I get more views and that. But it's not about that for me. For me, this is my comfort zone. Pre-recorded. And like I say, it's therapy for me. So talking to you guys, I'm just talking my thoughts out, really. I find it very therapeutic. There we go. I mean, if I want to model live, I can hook up with someone else. So I've done that before. Hang out in a hobby, you can check that out. Done that before. That was quite good fun. But these aren't about that. Yeah, I've got a few live ones called Hang Out and Hobby. They were obviously hobbying live with other people. They were good fun, like I say, but that's not what these are about. Right, so he is going to be fine and dandy. Yeah, Dark Angels. Now I've got a Dreadnought for all my Space Marine factions. I've got one for Dark Angels, I've got one for Blood Angels, and I've got one for Ultramarines. Nice to have a fallen hero that's come back from the brink of terrible and horrific injury, isn't it? It's like, this grim dark world of Warhammer 40,000. So I'm just cleaning up my brush. So what else then? Reading. I've got so much reading to do lately. It's unbelievable. I've got the rule books for Age of Sigmar. I've got my new RPG books to read, Call of Cthulhu and World of Darkness. I've got the Kill Team book, digital version. Got to read through that. There's just not enough time in the day. Oh, I'm not, and on top of that, I'm reading The Outcast Dead. Well, I've nearly finished it now, but brilliant book. Quite possibly one of the best Horus Heresy books I've read so far. The Outcast Dead. It follows the story of an astropath, or a failed astropath, who gets, after a horrific, not accident, but devastation on board of his ship. He has to go back to sort of refine his psychic abilities, and he gets caught up with a band of criminals, but they're like space marines and that, in this mountain where he gets sent because they're trying to extract. It's a long story, but the Imperium are trying to extract like a secret from his mind. He's got the future, knows the outcome. Well, he doesn't know it, but it's in his mind. It's trapped in his mind. The outcome of the war. So someone has seen the future. Who wins the war? Does Horus win or the Emperor win? And at that point in time, they don't know, do they? But someone does. They've seen it, and they've trapped or put the information inside this astropath's head, and of course they're trying to extract it quite brutally, I might add. But one of the criminals is like 1,000 Suns space marine, who can do psychic stuff, obviously, and he knows as well, and he thinks that this astropath is well important, so he wants to, take him, I think, to his Primarch, Magnus. It's a long story, but absolutely brilliant. I'm loving it. There's a few strange way it's written with the tenses. Not how I would write personally. It chops and changes, and it'll have several different tenses in the same paragraph, which isn't the way I was taught. But there's the odd typo as well, but you kind of get that with books anyway, don't you? I'm just doing Dawnstone on this base now. Yeah, you kind of get that anyway, and I know that, but all in all, quite possibly the best, and it's by Graham McNeil, but quite possibly the best Horus Heresy book I've read yet. I don't know what number in the series it is, number, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, I don't know, whatever. Quite far in, considering. I'll just put this lid back on. Yeah, so I've done Dawnstone on it now. Must remember his is that one. Yeah, I've got to do some white on him now. White. I need to get some more white actually. Just clean off this dry brush because it's quite a good dry brush, this one. It's in quite good condition. But yeah, basically not enough time in the day to do all the reading. My wife's job's going well. She's loving it. Her new job. It's longer hours, but the work is easier. You know, so while she's there, it's easier, but she's there longer, so yeah, you know, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. But yeah, that book though, it's called The Outcast Dead. And the Outcast Dead refers to the band of criminals that this astropath, it's called Kai Zundane or Zalane, I can't remember exactly now. Kai, anyway. the group, they're referred to as the Outcast Dead. They're being hunted as well. Bought some new paints recently, actually. Just looking at this, reminding me of that. It's one of them, I think, which I'll be using again. Used it on his robe. Flesh colours. I shall be using it anyway. Right. White. White Scar. Or have I got another White Scar? Yes, I've got another White Scar. So we'll use that one first. It's got the mixing ball in it. Hear that rattling around? I'll keep this fan off as long as I can, guys, but cool, it's getting hot already. Yeah. I have to get some more white sometime. I'll try the Vallejo ones. It's like a pure white. I'll put a tad of retarder in it. Let me know what you're working on, guys, as well. I love hearing about that. You know I love hearing about that. Some of you, sounds like you're really coming on with your projects there, which is great to hear. Love hearing about that. Is anybody working on any big models, as in, you know, like big, physically big models? That's quite interesting too to me. Yeah, there we go. Right. Sorry if I'm a bit silent at the moment. Sometimes I find these quite hard, even though it should be easier to do. I think I might need some stronger glasses. I think I'm alright for a bit. These are prescription glasses I'm wearing, but you know, they're pretty good. So I'll leave that there and I'll do a shade wash. Hopefully that'll tidy it up a bit, and then do the edges ashen grey of his shoulder pad thing. Actually, I think his arm needs to be, oh no, actually looking like it's been done with Gilliman blue, diluted Gilliman blue, I hasten to add. Oh, it's really getting hot now, guys. Sorry, I'm going to have to pop the fan on again, so you're going to have to put up with that. It's not something I want on the sound, but it's just so hot. Oh, that's nice to have that fan blowing on me again. Really nice. Apparently I'm getting quite a few likes on my Instagram. I put a photo up of my 2 box sets of Age of Sigmar, saying I'm combining the two, the old box set and the new one, the Soul Wars one. That's going to be my Stormcast Eternals. They're going to be brilliant, you know. Actually, I wonder if I can find my drills, my hand drills. Where are they? Because I could put a hole, like I've done with this guy here. Do the old paperclip thing. He's got his paperclip on his foot there. I could pop him into a oh sweet, another tub of glue. Another where's my other drill? There it is. You just bear with me a moment, guys. I'm just moving over to get a lid. Right, so I pop him on there. Classic Coca-Cola. Actually, that smallest one might be enough. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. If I can just put a blob of glue, super glue that is, on the bottom side. I just found a new tube actually. I'm running out of this stuff. Yeah, I think that one's empty. I think that one's had it. It's alright, we'll just check that one away. My Gorilla Glue. I've got a new one in the drawer, but I'll see if there's any. Yeah, it looks like there's some ordinary glue, super glue here. That was the gel, so. Come on. I'm trying to squeeze the glue out, believe it or not. Aha, here we are. There we go. When that dries, he'll be more solid. Excellent. I'll keep my pin drills out for a moment. I've got to clean up a bit more of my bench. I've got another, I said I got another brush on the way, didn't I? So I need to order a couple more and another white. I must remember that. Trouble is, painting in the heat really dries really quickly, and with the fan on as well. Just, you know, things dry really quickly. Sometimes in the past, why I'm using a lot of more drying retarder lately than anything else. So look, see how. This dreadnought is looking good now. Yes, all sealed in the transfer. Nice. Excellent. Brilliant. That's good. Agrax shade. I want to put some of that on his purity seal. I'll just use a detail brush for this. On the wax and the parchment. Yeah. So there we go. Oh, but guess what I've been having for breakfast lately? Pancakes. Don't know. I go through phases. Once all the time it was fried egg on toast. Now it's pancakes. It's got an egg theme going on there. You notice. So. Right. So that's that. Thinking, what do I do next? I quite like this format of doing away with me at the start. I mean, I'll still. Well, I might not even bother with the end. There's no need to see me on these, is there? Really, you see me on loads of other videos, so I think I'll do it that way from now on. Well, I'll see how this one goes. Yeah. My crisis suit's looking good over there. I've only had a base coat, so I'm liking that. Right, cipher. I'm going to work on ciphers. Sword scabbard thingamabob. Rhinox hide. Yeah, these are just milk bottle tops, lids. I don't like wet palettes. It makes the paint go funny. I feel I can control it a lot better from here. Just putting a drop of retarder in, and I'm not going to put any water with it. Just the retarder. That's my thinner. Oh, actually, just a tad. Feel guilty. It's so thinly pigmented, though. For a base colour, it's quite thin. Right. So it's really just going to be a few bits. Few bits on the scabbard. There's not actually much of the scabbard on show, to be fair. Some of it's going to have some gold on. This sword scabbard's got other stuff going on it. Like a design or something. I don't know if there's anything special about the sword. Sorry, I'm off camera a bit there, but you don't really need to see this. It's not a painting tutorial. These on the benches take so long to download onto my laptop and render. They're the longest ones I do. I'm thinking. Well, I've seen a couple of videos and comments lately. Maybe you guys can help me, those of you that watch this. I'm going to ask you a question, okay? This is going to help me, hopefully. Some of you have said, I don't watch any videos unless it's at least 720p. And that's fair enough. But I figure these videos are more about just painting along, not looking at anything visual, really. So I do them in 480p. See, if I was to do them in 720, I'd be looking at an astronomical amount of time to render and upload them, because they're an hour long. You know, do I really want that? Do you really want that? Do you really want them in 720p? I don't see the point personally, not these. But let me know if you do. I'm happy to give it a go, but if if it's too much, if it's too painful, I'll just go back to 480. Let me know though. Right. It looks like I need to do a bit of Bugman's glow on his face, because if I've already done it, then way too much Reichland flesh shade on there. Rhinox, let's pop that back, shall we? Or not. No, I've got more Rhine oxide to do. But looking, he's got some pouches, so let's get them done. I really should have done these before I put the propulsion unit on his back, but never mind. He's been in bits so long, I just wanted to get him together, and yeah, heading towards completion. It's alright, we can work around it, it's fine. It's not going to be any winning paint job, this, but I just want to get this kill team done and on the table. I don't get to play nowhere near half as many games as I would like to, and that's a shame. gonna cough. Hand over the mic. Hopefully that dulled it a little bit. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, so going back to the whole live thing, I'm just, I'm not comfortable doing these live, really. I'd much rather do it, because if I needed to stop and, go make a cup of tea or a pee or something, I'll just do that. If it's live, you kind of lose the flow of it a bit if you do that, I think. And that's just me. Yeah. Before I put it away, has he got any pouches on him? Not really. Don't know what they are, to be honest. Hanging down below. Right, so I'm constantly looking up to see, just in case it might be a text message from Sainsbury's to say, hey, you've got the job. I'm sure it'll be a phone call or even an email, but I could see that from my phone as well. We're almost at an hour, folks. Almost. I've got this guy doing his Dark Angel as well. This guy here. Maybe he could be part of my kill team. What do you think? Yeah, maybe. I like Caliban green, don't you? It's like the old British racing green, isn't it? Right. Administratum Grey might be next on this. If I can find it. I found it. There we go. Use this knock it out dry brush again. Okay, just getting the sharp edges down. Yeah. Ew. Clean my finger off. Got a bit of stratum grey on it there. I've got loads of greys. I've got them for doing my zombies for Walking Dead. So I've got a load of them. Right. Okay. Cassius. Leader of my Death Watch. Oh, look at that look. Brilliant. I love the idea of Death Watch, the whole thing. It's great. Alright, so cipher. Right, Bugman's Glow, yes. Flesh, Bugman's Glow. Definitely. Needs a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, that's alright. Tied up a bit of his armour after it dries, but that's not too bad. Let's get another bit of blue towel, and I think we're going to call it a day there then. So that ain't bad at all. Actually, I'll leave that dry brush in there soaking. Let's move this off. Rhinox hide is done. My white scar is done. So I've been working on him. Been working on him. And him, essentially. So that's not bad, folks. Thanks for joining me on this episode of On the Bench with Pete. So, like I say, this is my new format. Hope you like it. And yeah, if it's okay, I'll keep doing it this way. If not, I'll go back to the old way of doing it. It's just a lot easier doing it this way, and going straight into it. And I can talk to you from behind the camera, as it were, or behind the microphone. So actually, the camera is nowhere near me at the moment. It's quite a way away and zoomed in. So, but yeah. So thanks ever so much for joining me. Let me know what you're working on. Yeah, and remember, all brushes lead to war. Thanks again, guys. See you on the next video. Bye for now.